Welcome back to episode 8 of the Fearless Show. I am your host, Mr. Dario Hunt, and my partner in crime, as always, Mr. Dries Walker. Say what up.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back. Thanks for, all the support. This is episode 8, Fearless Show.
Yep. So, this week I've been thinking about things that I wanted to talk about. And I really want to talk about what's going on with all these, reboots and going back in time and all this nostalgia. They just released the new trailer for Beauty and the Beast. They're doing a live action for that. A bunch of these old video games. I don't know if you ever played like Crash Bandicoot, but they're like rebooting that.
Rebooting
and
Crash.
Then
wow.
Then you have all the movies getting the reboot treatment too. So the new Power Rangers coming back, all that.
Yeah. Right. It's crazy.
So what do you think about it? You think that's a good direction for us to be going in?
I don't know, man. I feel like every 10 years they just start redoing stuff from 20 years ago. Like I feel like there's just a resurgence of that every so often in the industry, but I don't know if it's a good thing or bad thing. So, a lot of some of these originals were good enough, and then to do them again, and they would have to be really, really well done to be done again and better than the first ones, Because I think a lot of some of the very first projects, the original ones, stand out, as something that should still be checked out and experienced, not rethought and some things are not going to be the same, obviously, and the departures are where I think things might get lost. But I think a lot of them are working knowing that these other stories have been told, because we're watching Spider-Man be redone, all these regular comic book characters have seemingly been redone. It seems like the whole Marvel X-Men is trying to figure out where they want to go. They don't really know what part of the timeline they want to stay in. They keep kind of doing over that one movie doesn't count anymore.
Yeah, they retconned a lot.
Yeah, I don't know. It's interesting. It's weird. There's some cool stuff coming out though that's not a total sort of redo, but I don't know if you heard about the Dark Tower, Stephen King.
But the Dark Tower never had its own movie, so it's a little bit different.
No, but I think it's weird that a television series.
Yeah, it's a weird format the way they're doing it.
Year. Yeah, but back to what you're saying, Power Rangers. It's kind of their format. Power Rangers been redoing shit. I feel like they've had 100 different Power Ranger casts since the original one. I don't know how many caught on, but I don't know if there's ever gonna be a no Tommy, of Power Rangers, that green and white Ranger kind of shit. But I don't know. It might be a little lazy. What do you think?
Well, I guess I'll be the old head in the room and be like, the reboots are some pure bullshit. They're just shit. I honestly can't remember one reboot where I was like, that was a great decision for them to go back to the original and just redo. I get what you're saying. There's always been a form of kind of rehashing and going back to old. But I think because of technology nowadays and just how easy it is to go back and redo stuff and just give it a new, gloss of sheen, and obviously the special effects are going to look better than when it came out. That it's just so easy that they know that they can cash in on it. And I don't think that, like I said, I can't remember one good reboot where I was like, that was worth them going back and, giving a lot of people a bad impression of, the franchises and whatnot. Because this week, a couple days ago, they just released a trailer for The Mummy, and The Mummy is a reboot of the original. Well, I won't say the original, but Brendan Fraser's Mummy series. And
Right.
this time it's got,
But Brendan Fraser's
it's
not in it, right?
Tom Cruise
Not in
is
the
the
new.
star now, and
What?
it's kind of how The Mummy was. It was some parts were serious, but it was still more like kind of
Kind
cheesy
of cheesy,
joking, more
like
like
family.
like Indiana Jones type of towing the line between being serious and
Yeah.
like playful and stuff. And this one is
Mm-hmm.
full on like serious, like adult, like action, basically. More of an action movie than I would say the sci-fi mystical one of the Mummy, which I actually really liked the original, the first two Mummies with Brendan Fraser. I actually really liked those a lot.
Yeah.
I thought they were
Right. I think
actually
they were
pretty
pretty
funny.
cool movies. Yeah, I didn't even hate the like CGI with the
No,
mummies.
at the time
Honestly,
they were great.
like most
Yeah,
of
at
the
the
time
time
I
they were
hated
great.
it. I thought it was dope. Yeah, man, but I don't know about this news. Like honestly, just hearing
Tom
Tom
Cruise
Cruise
is in
in
it,
it, it's
and
kind of awkward.
there's the running scene as always. He's running in it, and doing
Right?
a crazy
As
stunt with
hard
the
as he
plane.
can for
Like,
dear life. Yeah, he's got a few gaps
yeah,
to clear. Like,
it's
get his parkour on and then beat up
it
some
looks like
guys.
a
Like,
fucking supernatural Mission Impossible movie. To be honest with you,
there you go, little Jack Reacher.
and like I said, like I just don't. Can you name any reboot that you personally thought was like
I was
good?
I'm sitting here trying to think of some. I feel like there is something. I'm having trouble trying to bring it
Because
up
there's
in
a
my head.
lot. So
I'm like, what
so
did they
Spider Man,
redo?
that was probably the quickest turnaround for a reboot. I think ever
Hmm.
for a whole franchise. And then
Yeah, that's crazy.
I won't say the
Hmm.
first Amazing Spider Man
I mean, the
wasn't that
Hulk.
bad.
How many times have they been doing the Hulk? They made like three
Well, first the Hulk was a
Hulks.
TV show, then they made the movie, and then I think what's his name, Ang Lee did the one like early 2000s, which was absolutely terrible with the giant dogs and
Worse.
whatever, and like 20 minutes of him
Yeah,
actually hulking out. And then they did the relaunch with
one with
what was his name?
Edward
Edward.
Norton.
Yeah, Edward Norton. That one was okay. It
Yeah,
was okay.
right. Yeah. But then Edward Norton wasn't in the Avengers. They had
I
Mark
mean, for me,
Ruffalo.
look.
But Mark's not gonna get a movie.
I mean,
Like,
for me, I'll just take comic book movies like basically out the conversation because comic books are kind of built
yeah.
like their whole structure is built on rebooting, like just in their medium alone,
Hmm.
because they're always retconning stuff in their books off top.
Yeah.
Like people die and come back all like brand new again, all like every 10 years or so, maybe even less than that now. So I'll take
Right.
comic books out of the conversation. Outside of comic book movies, can you name a rebooted franchise that like goes back to the original and tries to like redo it in a new way for a new generation?
Well, Batman. I mean, but that's a
No,
comic book.
comic book.
So
Take that
I'm
out
trying to think.
take that out of the conversation.
What about Planet of the Apes?
Okay, I'll give you that one. I didn't even think about that. I'll give you that one.
That was like one where I
That
was
was a
like, okay.
legit like good reboot.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, there's some sketchy ones like Terminator.
God, terrible,
That one's like a little like, what are you
terrible.
doing? Like,
And I
about
love the
Star
first two
Treks.
Terminators, and that one was terrible. um, what
Yeah,
was the other one with
but I don't
Arnold
know.
Schwarzenegger? Total Recall. I used to
Oh
love that
yeah,
movie when I was a kid. It was so like it's fucking weird. There's like a little monster like talking out of his stomach, and then they redid it with what's his name, Colin Farrell.
oh, I don't know
Don't
if I
bother. Don't ruin.
saw
Don't ruin the
that.
memory of Total Recall. Terrible.
Yeah, but yeah, no. Other than that, I don't really think. I don't think reboots have had too great of a success.
So like that's what I'm saying. Like I don't know if it's just I would say if this technology was around earlier, they would probably do the same thing in past generations. But this generation specifically is like almost every month there's a whole nother reboot of franchise.
Right? They're like, remember that
Yeah,
one
it's
movie
funny. And it
that
brings
your
me back
parents
to my,
loved? We're
my
gonna
South
make it
Park
dope for you to watch.
comparison, where their whole season this year is about people falling for the trap of nostalgia and the member berries and
hmm
everything. So it's a weird trend for me.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they start pulling out more like '80s movies and
They're
shit. Like,
definitely killing
cause like you're saying,
the '90s childhood, you know, movies and TV shows. They're definitely doing that like crazy right now.
yeah, I think they honestly, I think it would be a smart move for them to pick the movies that are like just before our childhood, like like right before millennials, like movies we heard of, but were like maybe a little bit too
Uh,
outdated. Like I could see them maybe doing a Little Shop of Horrors kind of cool now, or like, or even like a Love Potion #9 for the millennials now. Like doing just weird like cult classics that aren't really like crossover for the new like millennials. Those might be cool movies to reboot, but those are like dramas more like weird, you know.
like, did you like
All the ones that we've
the
been
Star
talking
Trek
about.
reboot?
Kind of. It was like a yes and no situation. You know, there were things that I was like trying to figure out, but it was cool because they were kept paying homage. You know, like the whole
Mm-hmm.
time. Like they would have a lot of like like when Scotty's introduced or anytime he's on screen, they're like paying homage to like the idea of Scotty and not so much like the character of Scotty.
All right,
Like, which is weird, but I don't know.
all right.
I
I
liked
just googled.
I like parts. I never like a whole movie front to back, but
Yeah, there's very few front to back, but I just googled, some reboots that actually worked on to see what came up.
hmm,
Now, obviously, they got the X Men First Class. We were taking comics out of the movie. They got the Star Trek one listed, which I
mm,
will say it's so-so. I mean, it was above
yeah.
average, above average.
It was yeah. I don't think
The
it
second
like
one,
was
I did not
terrible, but
like that much.
hmm
The third one, I have not actually seen. Sherlock Holmes, I will say that was actually good.
yeah. Actually, I like
I
Sherlock.
like Sherlock, and I like Sherlock because of Robert Downey.
Yeah, exactly. He was dope in that.
The Muppets, they have Man of Steel,
That's
but comic book.
right.
Mm, I mean Jurassic World, but I don't really consider that a full-on reboot. It's kind of an extension.
Yeah, I don't think it's necessarily
And it's one I didn't like anyways.
a reboot.
Mad Max
Oh, the
Fury Road.
Karate Kid.
Okay.
Oh yeah, Mad Max.
I would say that's maybe
Oh,
the
but that one
pinnacle
was
of like rebooted franchise for me.
yeah.
That actually
Mad Max
was
was cool.
better, in my opinion, than the original one.
Yeah. I think the new one was like trying to do a little bit more like social commentary.
It actually had a story. I don't know if you actually seen. A lot of people I don't think have seen actually the first Mad Max, and it was interesting, but it wasn't really that good, and it wasn't that complete of a movie. Like it was
Mm,
like an independent film, and you can definitely tell, you know.
mm,
And then it went on to the other ones with like the Thunderdome and stuff like that.
yeah.
But I think that's
Hmm.
probably my pinnacle is Mad Max Fury Road.
It's up there. Definitely up there. You know. I mean, trying to think of anything else.
Everything else is shit.
Yeah. There's nothing that's really
Oh, Disney, they're just gonna cash in on everything.
uh I think The Magnificent Seven is a remake. That new one, that Denzel cowboy gunslinging
I
one.
haven't seen it.
Yeah, I think that's a remake from a '60s film called The Magnificent Seven.
It
So
is. It is.
since
But I haven't seen it.
yeah, But I mean, because Denzel's in it, I'm just gonna go ahead and say I'll probably like that one better than the original because you know it's in the '60s. But that's not to say '60s movies aren't good. There's some good movies in the '60s, but I don't know if they got the sort of culture clash quite accurate.
Mm.
'Cause it's like a group of oddball gunslingers in the West that are like sort of outcasts and shit. So I don't know how well they could tell that story in the '60s.
I don't know. I'm just not a fan of all these reboots, man. They are some hot garbage.
Hmm. But yeah, I mean, it being a reboot is probably why it's not like doing better like than it is. Like it's
I
it's
think
bound
I
by
think
certain
that could work a little
expectations.
better just because I don't think that many people were even alive or even know about the original, you know.
Right?
So
Yeah.
it's kind of like, yeah, a lot of these reboots now are like going back to people's, for us like 10 years ago.
Yeah, that's what's so confusing. I just
I
like,
feel like I just saw this movie.
yeah. But like, what about like Karate Kid when they brought back Mr. Miyagi and shit?
I actually didn't hate that movie, surprisingly. I was very
Yeah,
skeptical.
I thought it was gonna be trash. I was like, oh, they
I
redid
was
it.
very, I
Like,
was very
oh,
skeptical.
of course Jaden's in it. Like, I was like, oh, this is gonna be some fucking. They ruined it. They ruined it. Then I watched it and I was like, oh, so that's what it was. you know,
I, did-
it was like the same exact story except like kind of unique in its own way.
I mean, for me, like Disney, like they're doing like Beauty and the Beast now,
Hmm.
and it just seems like they're going through every one of their franchises and giving it a live action reboot.
Oh yeah.
If they touch Lion
I
King,
mean,
I'm done with them.
they touched Lion King. Oh man, what if they redid Aladdin or some shit?
It's
Like
coming.
that would be crazy. Oh
I think
really?
it's coming.
Is it live
I
action?
think so.
Uh, they're probably gonna. Oof.
I think they're gonna go
That's
through every one of their major franchises and give it a live action.
damn. I mean, I seen it with Tarzan. I saw what they were doing with Tarzan.
Cause we got the
Like,
Tarzan. What else we got? We had the Jungle Book. We had
yeah.
I think we have Snow White already.
In
Was it
different
Disney? I don't know if it
formats.
was Disney, but we had
Well, cause
Cinderella.
like Maleficent or
Yeah,
whatever is from
Sleeping
those
Beauty.
stories, and then there's Sleeping Beauty. Yeah, and
And Maleficent was garbage. The only one that was
it was
decent
like
was the Jungle Book.
it felt like a short story. Yeah, the Jungle Book was cool.
It was cool, but like I said,
I
if they
mean,
touch Lion King, it just had to be done. Like
for real though, like that would be the worst.
they already
Like
did the
Hakuna
sequels,
Matata and
which were
shit.
just so. My niece, my,
They tried so hard with those.
it's crazy. My niece loves Lion King too, and
Oh, what?
yeah,
Yeah. It had some catchy songs though. I won't lie. I
look,
watched
she
Lion King
likes. I
too.
think she
Like
likes it more than.
Deception, Disgrace.
I
Like
think
I
she
was
likes it
singing
more
that
than the
fucking
original.
song. I
And
think it's that song, bro. It's that song. And then everybody like kumbayas at the end.
look, I
So
got
it's
so
like,
angry at my brother. I said, "Why would you even buy this? And why would you even show your child this movie? This is blasphemy."
come on.
I think I'm gonna go in there while she's sleeping and hide it somewhere. Probably throw it in the trash.
Your mind can't be tainted by
Yeah,
Lion
come
King
on.
too.
My brother, he should know better than that.
Oh man.
That's like me
Right.
showing my kid Sandlot 2 before I show him Sandlot.
Oh, come on, bro.
you
I'd
know,
be so mad at you. I'd be like, what does he know Sandlot 2 for? Like, that would definitely be hidden, like, or thrown away.
like that's blasphemy. My
uh,
brother, yeah, he lost some points for
oh,
that one.
man. I mean, but what about all the spin-offs from Beauty and the Beast? What if they tried to do, like, Beauty and the Beast 2 or 3 or some shit?
I don't
Like
think
the
they'll go
Christmas
that
special
far
live
because
action
I
or
don't
something?
think I'm not sure how much their live action movies do for them. I think their
Mm,
animated movies still do the most.
yeah.
So I don't. I don't know. I hope not, but we'll see. Maybe I'm just the old head who hates all this new younger shit and all these new reboots and stuff. But
Yeah.
I'll be the old head on
Back
this
in
one
my
and say
day,
like this shit is
stories were
garbage.
told for the first time. Like,
I just wish they would. I just feel like it's getting less and less creative.
yeah.
Just
I mean, but that's why
cashing
you
in.
gotta have people like Childish, like Donald Glover coming in writing some shit. You know, there's
No,
some
I
people.
always have faith in Quentin Tarantino, man.
Oh yeah,
He,
but isn't he about to retire? Isn't he gonna do
that's what
like
he
one or
says.
two
But do you
more
really think he's
movies?
going to? I don't think so.
Hey,
I
you
don't think
never
he can
know,
stay
man.
away, man. It's too much. He loves him too much.
I don't know, man. I think he's just gonna. Yeah, you know, you're right. He probably can't
I don't
retire.
think he can.
I mean, Stephen King could retire. He should have been retired, but Stephen King
He can't.
hasn't
He
retired.
can't.
It's like, how old
He
is
writes a
that
book
dude?
a
Like,
week, man.
he wrote like over 60 novels that were adapted into like
He
on
writes a
screen
book a
shit.
week, man.
Like, who the fuck? Who do you know writes a novel that gets turned into a TV series or a movie more than more than 10 times, more than 20 times? Like, this dude is
He writes a
crazy with
lot,
the writing.
and his
Writes
books
too
are
much.
not like small books. Like I read the
They're
Dream
not
Catcher, and it's
small.
like 1,300 pages. You know,
Yeah. Like, we mentioned the Dark Tower. That
what,
that's
seven
not
books or
one
something like
book.
that? Something
That's
crazy.
eight. I think it's 8 books.
Yeah, something crazy.
It's like a 7 or 8 book series. So that's what I'm telling you about. When this movie comes out, it's gonna cover like 3 of the books, maybe. Or like,
But it's really not
it's gonna
even about. It's like
it's not
almost a
even
whole new
about the
story.
books. It's about introducing the sort of
The
like
characters and stuff in the
universe and
world.
the
Yeah,
characters, but like, yeah, the book's so extensive that
that's a
like
smart move. It's too much to try to cover in movies, man.
it's crazy.
Nah.
But
Well,
yeah.
if you haven't seen it, go watch the Mummy trailer and just tell me like that. When I first watched it, I was like,
Yeah.
"Is this the Mummy franchise?" Like I wasn't sure if it was connected to the franchise, and then like I read the
Right.
description, it was like, "Yeah, it's the like reboot of it." And I was like, "Wow, you went like the
Mm.
whole opposite direction of what makes this movie so great," you know?
Right.
So
Yeah, it was cool because it was like not taking itself too
so
seriously.
seriously, it was fun. It was a fun movie.
Yeah.
This looks
So
like
like when
some
there are
serious.
serious parts, you're like, oh, they just got serious. So
This
you like
looks like
take
a
it serious.
serious
Not
like
like,
apocalyptic movie. Like seriously,
yeah.
yeah.
I mean,
I'm
but
not feeling it.
Tom Cruise loves that shit. You know, that War of the Worlds.
Yeah, I mean,
Like,
they cashing in, but
which I fucking hated. But
that was a reboot. War was a reboot.
yeah, which I fucking hated. See, reboots,
Look,
man.
I didn't hate it up until like the ending. I really hated the ending,
Oh, the ending was good.
and it wasn't
It's
even the fact
trash.
that they died from like the biological just being on our planet. Okay,
Yeah.
whatever. It was the fact that his son was still alive, and like
Yeah.
his whole family just walked out of like a fucking Thanksgiving ad from their house, like
His
nothing happened.
entire family, his entire family. He didn't
They're-
lose anybody
Nobody. Their whole
except
block
like
was
his
like just clean,
neighbors. Like,
like like they're
how's there a
just
war of
going
the
about their day.
worlds? Millions of people die. He gets separated from his kids, and
His son
everyone survives.
literally ran head on into a full army of invading aliens that you just saw murdered
And
anything
like
and everything that was
almost
moving.
never used a gun before. Just like, I'm gonna be in the army now. Like,
It was fuck that and fuck that.
yeah.
But speaking of trailers, another trailer did drop. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. Have you seen that one?
Yeah, I did. It caught me off guard because I was like, I don't think I'm gonna like it, but
I'm
the trailer
fucking
made
sold.
me laugh. The trailer made me laugh. I was like, wait, this kind of looks good. I was
I'm
like, oh,
fucking sold. I can't wait for that movie to come out now. Fucking Baby
Yeah.
Groot, man. Oh.
my god, that shit is intense. Like, I am Groot.
You
I
know,
am
you know how many
I am Groot. No,
you know how many toys he's gonna goddamn sell with that movie? Like, yo, Baby Groot is the shit.
Baby Groot, man. Shit, I wish I had some stock in that product sale because it's gonna be Baby Groots all over
Everywhere.
the place,
Everywhere.
everywhere. T-shirts, little keychains, stuffed animals. I'm sure they're gonna go crazy with Groot.
So we were talking about, you're doing some art stuff, coming up today.
Yeah,
I've seen what's going on around the art world, and there's like the what was it the Art Basel, however you say it, in Miami.
Yeah, Art Basel, Basel, Miami. Yeah, Art Basel week is or I guess it's not. It can be longer than a week, but it's really just a week. But it's like all the art fairs, basically, just like a big art festival almost. It's like basically imagine a bunch of warehouses with like different thematic scales. Like some of these fairs are so like Art Basel is its own thing, but then there are other fairs that happen at the same time. So there's this one art fair that's primarily African American art. It's called the Prism Art Fair, and that one's going on. There's what's his face? Swiss Beats. He put on his no commission art fair. You guys have probably heard, where basically he curates artists that he thinks are dope and provides the sort of gallery atmosphere to display and sell work, and all the work that's sold, the proceeds go straight to the artist, instead of like with these fairs in other galleries where they have like a 50-50 type relationship, you
Hmm.
know? Um, so yeah, Basel is like a huge thing. You know, like I'm sure Jay-Z and all those celebrities are out there. Like Pharrell, obviously. All those guys they go out there and shop and shit.
So would you compare it to like Fashion Week, basically for the art world?
Yeah, but what's funny about the art world is they have they have two a year. Like so, there's like this is like the summer and the winter kind of thing, where like Art Basel is where everybody gets to go to Miami, with nice
Yeah,
weather, and
yeah,
like it's
and
the
a reason to
so
get out
like
the cold.
yeah, yeah. So they go out there. It's like before Christmas, so it's like already everybody's expected to spend money and shop kind of thing. So
Yeah.
it's like yeah, it's almost like a fashion week for sure. But then there's also like Freeze Week, which happens in spring, and it's like the same situation except it's in New York. So there's like, but basically these things, it's like galleries from all over the world. Um, basically get like a booth, and so they pay rental fees, so like it's like this really expensive production of things, and massive crowds come. It's like millions of people go through these art fairs in Miami and New York and shit, so it's pretty crazy.
So the one in Miami's, I mean, it's kind of relatively new, isn't it? Only maybe less than 20 years.
Yeah, I think it's less than that. Yeah, relatively new for sure. But I think part of that was just like I think there was a period in Miami's like history where they were rebuilding their downtown, uptown sort of situation. So
Hmm.
like once Miami got like became Miami, I say like in the '90s when um sort of like club scenes and like pop culture was sort of integrating more.
Yes,
Then
when they got their shit together.
yeah, right, exactly. Like after like post Scarface type drug dealers and shit like that. Like they finally like made it to where they had like people from all over the world like wanting to like live or
Yeah, it's cool to be
vacation,
back in Miami.
yeah, it's cool to be back in Miami. So basically they made it an art hotspot. You know? So
Hmm.
yeah, it's pretty cool though. Like I remember first hearing about it, like just because like Jay-Z went. And they were like, oh, Jay-Z went to Art Basel. Like you don't even know what that means. It's like
Yeah.
it's basically he goes to an art show, and it's not just an art show. It's literally like he walks into a warehouse, and there are probably 1 to 300 different gallery spaces or solo artist booths, and you basically spend hours just looking at art, so you get overloaded.
Yeah, I'm sure
It's
it's a
not
lot.
really, honestly, I don't think it's like it's fun. I think the best part about it is there's like after party
Yeah,
situations. So
hella.
this
I
is
can
like
imagine there's hella parties.
yeah, so that's the coolest part, honestly, is like what happens after, or in between the fairs. Like there's a lot of cool networking experiences and things happening during the fairs, and there is a lot of dope art. Like a lot of artists, make stuff specifically like for, the fairs, or like have that in mind while they're creating. Just because the audience is different, collector base is different sometimes. So, yeah, it's pretty interesting. Nina Chanel Abney. She's an artist based out of Newark, New Jersey, but she works a lot in New York, out here in the city. But she just got picked up by a gallery called Jack Shainman, and they're a big gallery in Chelsea,
Hmm.
the Chelsea Arts District. So basically, she just got in with like a almost blue chip kind of gallery, like a super high end. She's like in her 30s, young 30s. But basically, this is her first time being with a gallery of that caliber, like in Miami Basel, and like she does large scale like mural type paintings. They're very bright, but they have a lot to do with like police brutality and just sort of like race relations. So they almost look kid like, but they're like very sharp and well executed. They're really flat, like shape, kind of
Hmm.
almost cutout style. But I just want to shout out Nina Chanel Abney for grinding because I met her like just last year, and she had a studio at the Gateway Projects in Newark, and she ended up being a mural artist that was doing what's now the largest mural on the East Coast. There were like 15 different artists selected, and she was one of those artists. I was an artist assistant, so I got to see her there. But now, it's just like she's got a big installation. Basically, her unveiling for Jack Shainman is happening at Miami Basel right now. So
And what was her
she's
name again?
pretty dope. Nina, Nina Chanel Abney,
Shout out
AB.
to Nina. Check your
Yeah,
stuff out.
definitely dope.
So how do you get into like Art Basel? Is invite only for an artist? Like how do you
Yeah.
get your work into this invite?
I mean, I would say Art Basel is like 90% invite only, or like you have to be a gallery and have stacks. Like I'm talking stacks, like salary type money sometimes. Like I'm sure like Jack Shaman, the gallery that I was talking about that reps Nina Chanel Abney, I'm sure their booth was probably like $30,000 to $50,000, like just for the booth at my.
Mm.
So if you think about it, if a gallery's throwing down, 50 racks to have a space to show like their artists and shit, that just lets you know like the caliber of art that they
Yeah,
sell
it's
and
gotta
like
be
what kind of collectors they're
top of the
attracting.
game.
Yeah. So like yeah, so like invite, those types of galleries are getting invited. There's certain artists that like, have that sort of aesthetic. Some certain fairs like the Prism Art Fair will do an invite to artists and not so much just galleries. So it'll be galleries and artists. But they do it like an open call, so they can do like a selection,
Hmm.
So it's not like everybody that they invite happens to get in, but
So I'm assuming if you get in there, you're probably going to be making a lot of money that weekend.
that's I would say 50-50. You know, all the artists always hope so, and
Hmm.
I've seen often that their hopes do come true, but there's sometimes when they don't, they come back and it's like, oh, I met some people, but the pieces I had up didn't sell. But I met
But
some
you do
people that,
get, you do get some good eyes like on your stuff. So
oh yeah, great eyes. Like I said, I was name dropping celebrities that go and
yeah.
9 times out of 10, if you're in the right place, they're gonna like at least glance at it, and yeah.
So all I'm saying is when you get into one of these, Basels, I just want a ticket, dog.
You want a ticket?
I just want a
Shoot.
ticket. I don't even got to be at the show. Just give me
Man.
the after party, man.
Hey, yo, those after parties will be on. I've been talking to a few people that are out there right now. They're like, yo, like a friend of mine apparently got invited to like Kris Jenner's after party and shit.
Oh God,
Like I'm telling you, like celebrities be out there like
that's one
partying
I
with the
might have to
artists.
turn down though.
Hey, I'm not saying you need to get caught in any gender drama. Don't get in that trap.
Talked about this last week, man. They're no
Hey,
good.
Kendall Jenner
Don't
will
need them
walk
in your
over.
life.
I heard you were a basketball player, Dario. I heard you were
Don't
a
know. That's
CEO.
something I don't need in my life. I'm just going good right now.
You want that little boost, that little social media boost?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm definitely good.
Oh man.
So, you see anything good lately?
Oh yeah, there's a big show going on at the Met Breuer, which is the Whitney's old museum space in Midtown. It's like off Madison Avenue, where all the fancy shops and shit are. But the Met Breuer has a show that's Kerry James Marshall, um, basically a retrospective, like a survey of his works over like several decades. Um, Kerry James Marshall, he's a black, uh, sort of mid career, I guess, but very well established artist. I'd say he's like in his 50s.
Hmm.
But yeah, he's a black male artist who creates work like particularly about blackness in the figure and sort of environments where black people exist and interact. So he has like very commonplace settings like a bedroom or like the outside of an apartment complex. But he paints the figures very starkly black. He tends to use all black, like without hints of color, but then he started to add more shade into the color. But the show's really dope. He's an artist that I've been looking at for a while, since I started this thing almost a decade ago, starting to look at what artists are doing it big. He's always been one of those guys. Um, so yeah, if you're in New York, go to the Met Brewer and check out the Kerry James Marshall show. That shit's fire. It's 2 floors of the building, so you'll get to see a lot of his work. And what's cool about it is this is sort of a new museum trend with like retrospective and survey shows, where either the artist or the curators of the show pick out artworks from the permanent collection of the institution that the artist gained inspiration from or was like influenced by throughout their career or at a particular time in their career. So there's like one particular section where you walk through and it's a bunch of paintings or sculptures that Kerry James selected from the Met uh, permanent collection that showcase artists that he's inspired by and that he looks at. So you get to see different artists, styles, and like sort of little bits and pieces that he references and takes and puts in his own work. So I thought that was a cool little space too.
Interesting.
But yeah, that's sort of a trend. A lot of people are doing that now, which is kind of cool. It reminds me of this guy Fred Wilson. He's actually he was one of my mentors at the School of Visual Arts. But basically, he kind of one of his most famous art projects was taking pieces from the museum's permanent collection and sort of just like placing them together in a way that suggests a different kind of information. Like he had one where it was a like a whipping post, like a full fledged like wooden post for whipping slaves and shit. And he just put that wooden post in a corner, and then he had these like super like fancy handmade Victorian chairs just like facing the whipping post, and that was just like an installation he had from like the museum's permanent collection. So like just those artifacts in a space together when they're never together, like sort of created something new. But I feel like he was like one of the guys that started this whole like dive into the museum archive and show, um, you know. But I can
Basically,
also
art from real life.
yeah, exactly. But I remember going to like the Vincent Van Gogh retrospective. They had a traveling show when I was out in Denver, and every now and then they would have a painting from like one of his inspirations right next to the painting that he made, and you could like see one to one how uh, they were related to each other and like who he's looking at, and you got to see a real progression of like Van Gogh, finally getting to his later style, where it was his own style and not so much copying others.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Sounds dope. So if you're in the area, definitely go check that out. Lastly, I want to talk about some of the upcoming movies that are coming out over the next couple weeks
Mm.
that you should definitely check out. Um, First, Nerdland comes out I think tomorrow.
Nerdland.
Yeah, I did a reaction to this trailer. It says Hannibal Buress, Paul Rudd, Patton Oswalt, and it's made by the producers of Zombieland, which I love. Um, it's like an animated adult movie. The art style and direction is pretty interesting and actually looks kind of funny. So,
Hmm.
but it's only coming out in select theaters.
Oh, okay.
It's like it was like an indie film and did the whole film festivals and got like a lot of good ratings, so it got its way into like certain theaters.
Hmm. Well, that's what's
So,
up.
um, this Friday, Nocturnal Animals, starring like Jake Gyllenhaal and I think Amy Adams.
Oh,
It's like a thriller. It actually looks really interesting.
yeah.
Kind of got the whole Gone Girl vibe going for it.
Hmm. It'll probably be all right. Maybe like a date
So
movie.
I like Jake Gyllenhaal. I like some of his stuff, so
Right.
I think that could be decent. Next weekend, Collateral Beauty with Will Smith.
Oh yeah. Looks like a.
More serious drama, kind of holiday type of film.
Yeah, it looks like a kind of 7 pounds. Have you seen Will Smith in 7 pounds? That
I've
movie.
only seen that movie one time, and I won't watch it again. It's a good, very good movie.
Yeah.
It's just very fucking depressing.
Yeah, it is. Because, like, he's a hero for killing himself. But,
Yeah.
spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert if you haven't seen the movie.
And it's not as straightforward as that, but, you know. Yeah. Hopefully
Yeah.
in this new one, it doesn't come to that.
And then we get La La Land, which is like the musical with I forget his name.
um,
Um, it's Ryan Gosling. That's what it is.
oh,
Ryan Gosling and what's the redhead chick's name from Superbad and the Spider-Man reboots?
oh, shit, what is
I forgot her name, but
Oh, Emma
that comes
Stone.
out.
It's Emma Stone.
Emma Stone.
Yeah.
Emma Stone. It's like a musical, LA kind of modern, like a mix of modern and like 1950s kind of like.
I think John
He's like
Legend's in that too.
yeah, John Legend's in it too. He's like up and coming, or he's trying to become like an aspiring musician and own his own jazz cafe or something. And she's like trying to become an actress. It's like a very Hollywood type of flick.
Yeah.
So I mean, if you're into musicals, it's getting good ratings. I'm not into musicals, so I probably won't see it.
I'll probably check it out just to see if it was
But you know, it is coming out that weekend.
what.
Rogue One, the Star Wars story,
Oh, for real?
December 16th.
Oh, snap. I know. I keep forgetting. Like the year is coming to a close so fast that I like.
Yeah, it's coming up quick, man.
I'm like, damn, that's already coming up.
It already broke every record that came out this year for movies. I think it already sold more than I think Doctor Strange's opening night,
Wow.
just off
Already.
of pre-sale tickets.
Right.
So, it just needless to say, it's going to be a big movie.
Yeah, I mean, I heard George Lucas digs this one more than like The Force Awakens.
It looked way more interesting than Force Awakens. Like it looked like it's actually like an original-ish story
Mm-hmm.
instead of rehashing what I already saw,
Right.
which is Force Awakens, which I've already talked about, which is not a good movie.
It's basically a remake.
Yeah, it's people highly overrated. Star Wars. I mean, South Park got it right.
That was the
Highly
worst
overrated.
one. That was the worst Star Wars.
Ooh,
Don't you think so?
that has to go to Phantom Menace for me.
Oh, are you serious?
Because I've rewatched
'cause it was kinda
all of them
boring.
before I saw the movie, and I rewatched Phantom Menace. And at first, I was like, man, it wasn't that bad when I watched it as a kid, and I rewatched it, and I was like, yeah, it was pretty fucking bad. I think I was just blinded by how cool Darth Maul looked, even though he had like 3 lines.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I think Phantom Menace is still better than Force Awakens.
I no, I can't give it better than Force
I
Awakens.
have to.
You know, Force Awakens is
The Phantom
one
Menace
of my
was
least
like
favorites.
that's like started the whole like I don't know, man.
It was only good. The only good thing about it was Darth Maul.
That was the shit though.
That's
We have
that's
never
when they gave us fucking Jar Jar Binks.
before or since
Absolute
seen the
garbage.
double-handed, the double-sided saber. We don't get to see that anymore. He's the only
Yeah, he was the coolest looking villain, but he was on the screen for a total of like 10 minutes.
The Qui-Gon Jinn fight though was one of my favorite Star Wars fights. I mean, Star Wars fights.
For me, it's probably episode, I guess, what, 4 now, and then episode 6. Oh,
Yeah,
for me, probably episode 4, episode 3, which is highly underrated. People like the shit on it because it's in the prequels, but that was fucking good.
yeah.
Episode 6, episode 5, 2, 7, and 1.
That's crazy.
Come at me, Star Wars fans.
Episode 1. I love how you did that. That shit's so funny. Okay. But I can see some
Episode
of your
3.
reasons though. I mean, because Yoda was getting more action in the first few you mentioned. Like he wasn't like Yoda actually had relevance.
A lot of people have read episode 3 is a good fucking movie. Like you have to watch it again.
I'll watch it again.
It's actually a good fucking movie.
All right.
I rewatched all of them and I was like, that was legitimately like good. Like I don't know why I get so much shit because in the prequels, but that was like a good fucking movie.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll have to watch that one again.
7 is I'll put it this way: I've only seen 7 once. I have felt no need to rewatch it again.
Nah, don't. Yeah, it's all good. No need.
So,
Word.
thank you, J.J. Abrams. But the reboot king.
Oh man. Oh, I did see this.
You got anything else?
I saw this comedian on Netflix the other day because we were talking about comedians and like how they're all
so
whack.
ass nowadays.
Yeah, there was this dude, Michael Shea. I never knew who he was, but apparently he was like briefly with Jon Stewart, and like he's worked as a writer for SNL. But he's a young guy. He looks like he's in his 20s still and stuff. But if you get a chance, watch his special. It looks like his first comedy special. But he says some pretty funny stuff. You know, he's pretty on topic, current. You know, doesn't shy away from being black. But he's like the dark skinned American version of Trevor Noah. Like
Trevor Noah's hit and miss for me.
yeah, so that's what I mean. It's like he's like the American black guy version. So he's gonna be hit or miss, but there's gonna be stuff that you're gonna like think is dope and funny as shit.
Well, I will watch none of you comedians because Dave Chappelle just signed. What was it? A 4 special deal with Netflix for like a 60 mil or something like that. He's coming for his crown. He's coming back. He's back. Comedy is coming back.
He came back for one
Thanks to Dave
episode of
Chappelle.
SNL, and the world was like, everybody felt good again. Like,
So I don't need to
I feel like,
my comedy with anybody else.
yeah, I feel like Dave Chappelle ruined SNL for me because he showed me how good they could be. Again, like they could actually be like some like really entertaining mixed in with like some just okay stuff, and like most of the time they're just like okay. So
Now it's Trump. That's their best stuff.
yeah. I mean, when politics are happening, whoever's got the best
They're good
impression,
at that.
they're gonna be they're good at
They're good at
impressions of people doing serious things that we think are funny. That's
Jay Farrell.
Jay Farrell. Yeah, and that's why I never mentioned him. Like, does he even have a special? He probably does.
It's not something I would want to see.
Yeah, no. I mean, what I would like to see is if he could do like only one impression for like a 30-minute set.
I don't-
You think he could do that?
I don't actually consider him like an actual comedian. I call him He's an impressionist, but
I don't even think he's an
beside the
impressionist.
point.
I think he just learned like 7 to 10 people like impressions, and then was like, "Oh, I'm good." Like, I don't think he adds people. He might, but
I mean, it worked
it worked.
because look where I am now. So
I know.
he was kind of good. I
We
feel
know
like.
his name and what. Yeah, so I guess hey, it worked.
Who's better impressions, him or Ari Spears?
I don't know. I would say I like Ari Spears' impressions more because I feel like
Ari Spears is
I feel
funnier. I
like
would say that
yeah,
he's a
that's
way better
so like
comedian.
for me, I think Ari Spears like I don't know. He just doesn't give a fuck as much. Like I feel like Jay Farrow like says stuff, but like I don't really care. Like I don't I don't know. I don't know what it is about him. He's kind of cheesy.
All these cornball comedians out there. I feel sorry for this generation.
For real, y'all don't know what real comedy is. Shit, the old stuff.
But I think that's it. That's all I got for this week.
Yeah, wasn't too much else I could think of.
I did put a post up. We have voting going on now for the best of the month for November, meaning the best album,
Yeah, yeah.
best trailer, and best music video. So go on over, cast your votes, and the next couple of days we'll have a decision for a winner.
Yeah, bring those votes in. Let us know, because I want to know. I think we need more votes. I want to make sure that this doesn't just seem like we're picking our favorites, you know. But there's some hot stuff. Y'all gotta, get on the page. Who's the best of the month, November? Vote for that. Or I mean, yeah.
Yeah, go vote. And I'll just say, just for the film trailers, it's not just solely based off a trailer. It's kind of also what you think is the most exciting upcoming movie out of the bunch.
Mm-hmm.
So take that into consideration.
Yeah. What are you most excited for?
But other than that, thanks for joining us for episode 8 of the Fearless Show. And we will be back in a couple of weeks.
Yeah. Keep living life fearless. It's your boy, artist Darius Walker, and your host, Dario Hunt.
Peace.
Deuces.